Glad you did.
The new Newlywed Game premiering September 9th on Channel 4.
Man, woman, birth, death, infinity.
You're so frustrated. Why don't you study to be a doctor?
I would if there was a mail order course in neurosurgery.
Oh, excuse me, Dr. Casey. Why don't you put a horn on that, Nick? I can't. I'm in the hospital zone.
Let me out of here.
Ben Casey.
A home?
Who are you? What are you trying to do to me?
We're doctors. We're here to help you. Just relax.
Don't need any help.
We need some more information. Pulse weak and rapid.
Alcohol? Flushed, dry skin, feverish, small breathing, soft eyeballs, hyporeflexia.
Miss Wells, 4 cc's aromatic spirits of ammonia and water. And then put him on 5% carbon dioxide and oxygen.
Some jag. Something more, Ben?
I don't know. It would help to know who he is and his prior medical history.
Or his favorite bar. But he's too young for the saloon circuit.
Well, just getting drunk wouldn't produce this. Could go another way. Organic brain disease. We'll run some tests to be on the safe side. Meantime, he's young enough to be missed, so someone should be looking for him.
There's a chromosome defect.
What?
It won't make you ill or shorten your life. There won't be any symptoms.
There's a but on the end of that sentence.
We don't know what causes them, but these defects sometimes crop up like a minor mutation.
Chromosomes. Genes. Heredity. And I'm all right, but... it's babies. Are you saying I can't have babies?
They wouldn't be normal.
I hear the words, but they're not sinking in.
if you had a child and it lived, it would probably be deformed. When you marry, you can adopt.
Who do I marry? Don't you think Ben wants children of his own? Don't you think I do?
I'm so sorry.
I never met a man who had more right to make demands on the world. And he hasn't. But one day he's gonna turn around and say, "World, I've given enough. Now give me something." What do I do?
There are many women who can't have children, who lead full lives.
That's meant to console me. What do I offer him?
The one thing no one else can give him. Yourself.
And what if he doesn't want me? Did you tell him?
That's something you must do yourself.
Actually, this is quite a break for you, isn't it? You now have a clear field. I'm sorry. Please get out. I'm not blaming you, but I don't want to look at you or talk to you. Please get out.
And there she was, on the floor. My poor Mary. You a Greek, hate my Mary.
Mr. Lebowski.
My daughter's too good for you, son.
Andrew, will you quiet him? Now, my son's not the kind of boy to hit a woman.
And where is he? He doesn't come to see his wife? Are you hiding him?
Of course not,
Stephen. He's gonna pay. There are laws against...
Simmer down, people.
Mary.
Remember where you are.
How's my Mary?
Doctor, can you tell us when we'll be...
Now, look. You can't see the patient until you calm down. Is that clear? How do you feel?
Better, Doctor, thank you.
Do you still insist you fell downstairs?
Yes, I slipped and fell.
You don't think the police are going to believe that, do you, Mrs. Carter?
The police?
The admitting room staff has to report all injuries due to acts of violence.
But I told them.
Mrs. Carter, we've seen too many battered children and beaten wives not to know the difference between injuries caused by falls and by fists. Now, where is your husband?
Greg had nothing to do with this. It was an accident, I tell you.
You don't know where he is? Will you describe him for me?
I don't understand.
Was he tall, short, dark, light, what? What does he do for a living?
Really, Doctor, do I have to answer that?
No, it's not medical. I'm interested in you, so I'm interested in him. How long have you been married?
4 months.
Does he know about the baby?
Really, Doctor, he hasn't been gone that long. How long will I be here?
Oh, another day or so for observation. Your father and in-laws are outside.
The Hatfields and the McCoys.
I can send them away if you're not up to seeing them.
No, I'll see him.
Mary, dear.
Doctor.
Well, hello, Sergeant.
Surprised me, Doctor.
Same old story.
Yeah, she fell down a flight of stairs. I suppose she won't admit she was beaten.
No.
Nothing ever changes.
Excuse me, Doctor. Admitting just called. They have a room for Mr. Hanley. It's a double, but unoccupied. Shall I have him moved?
Yes. Get him out of that ward and stop him screaming, Miss Wilson.
Hanley, the politician's politician?
Yes.
Good luck.
He feels he's being persecuted.
Might be a good idea. Meanwhile, I've got to see the father of the beaten girl. He signed the complaint.
He's in there with the in-laws.
I'll get him out here for me. I want to speak to him alone.
Mr. Dubosky. Mr. Dubosky, this is Sergeant Crane.
You reported you saw your daughter beaten by her husband.
You bet I saw.
Tell me exactly, what did you see?
Yeah. I come for a visit. I hear Mary scream, I come in, she's hit. He's standing over.
Hold on a moment. She screamed. You entered. You saw him hit her.
Sure, she's on the floor.
Mr. Dubosky, very important. You saw him hit her.
Sure, I come in, she's on the floor.
Then you actually didn't see him strike her.
She screams, she hit her. I see her lying on the floor. Who else?
I see. You came in after he hit her and found her on the floor.
That's what I said.
That's not enough.
I told you that...
That you got there too late. You must actually witness the incident.
But is it not crime to beat up your wife?
Under 630A of the Penal Code, the infliction of traumatic injury to one's wife or child is a felony. Punishable up to 2 years in jail. I'd like to see the girl.
She has a room full of visitors.
I'll catch her after visiting hours.
Why? Why doesn't he do something?
Well, if he can, he will. It's up to Mary.
Tell him he'll contribute to the party or the fire department will find 27 violations next time they inspect this lousy restaurant. And that's just for openers. Building and safety can find dozens of citable offenses. The Department of Sanitation figures to shut him down. Hold on, Jack. Excuse me, nurse. This is a private call.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hanley. I'll just be a moment.
I'll call you back. What are you doing?
We're bringing in another patient. I explained admitting couldn't guarantee you'd be all alone.
I was moved in here because I've got to have a private room. Private. For me only. Get it?
I'm very sorry, but my orders were to bring in a patient to occupy this bed.
If you're smart, you'll hold off, and heaven help whoever gave you those orders.
You're talking about me, Mr. Hanley. Bring in the patient, Miss Wills.
You get your kicks by putting your head in the ringer. You've got to know I could bust you up into little pieces.
You're still on the top of the list for a private room, Mr. Hanley. Meanwhile, this is the only empty bed, and someone needs it.
When I was moved in here, it was understood I have some privacy.
If possible.
Make it possible.
There's no chance right now.
Listen, pill pusher, I've had nothing but trouble from you, and I'm fed up. Who needs you? I get zero help medically and roadblocks everywhere else.
We're doing everything possible. There's no specific treatment for herpes zoster. Rest helps. Getting yourself in a stew will hurt.
Who gives you your orders? Who's on top? Who's the head man?
If you have any complaints, you can appeal to the hospital board.
I wanted to get you out of my hair, and Freeland got in the way. No, I don't go to any board and find myself tabled by a committee. In my business, you learn lots of ways to skin a cat, and I'm gonna skin me a couple. And you're on the list, Doctor. Count on it.
Get a new television for exceptional children. Reston, Virginia.
Daddy, ask him. You said you would.
It's kind of silly, Doctor, but I promised Mike I would. How soon do you think he can come home?
I don't know. You wouldn't want me to lie to you, would you, Mike?
If you could give us some idea, Doctor. A day, a week, a month?
I ain't gonna stay a month. Maybe not even a day. I'll run away. I mean, who wants to stay in a crummy old hospital?
Nobody, Mike. But sometimes we've got to do things we don't enjoy. I can't give you an estimate, Mrs. Devlin. I wish I could.
I hate you.
No, son, don't say
Mr. Devlin.
bad, is he?
Pretty bad.
Has he got a chance?
I think so.
But you're not sure.
I must tell you, Mr. Tamblyn, that other members of the staff don't agree with me on the prognosis. But I'd like your consent for surgery.
Yeah, but he's already had 2 operations. You think another operation's going to cure him?
I'm suggesting an exploratory procedure. I hope to find that Mike's condition is less serious than it appears.
I don't know what to say. I'm not a doctor.
The boy's been examined by 2 other physicians, Dr. Freeland and Dr. Graham. You can speak to them or call in a consultant.
You know, Mike's our only child. We always wanted a boy. At first, we thought we couldn't have children. He was such a healthy baby. Happy, alert, loving. You sort of watch Mike grow up, and it's like a miracle. That a little helpless thing becomes a big find. You know something? I never cared for baseball. Oh, I used to scream my head off at football games. But baseball, nothing. But going to a game with Mike, it's different. He gets so excited pitching that I would get just as excited as he was. We got season tickets, Doctor. If you'd like to go and see a game, I don't think we'll be using them. Why is he sick?
There's never an answer to that question.
I want to wash my face. I want him to see me this way.
Miss Fremont called, Doctor. She asked if you'd meet at her home.
Thank you, Miss Wilson.
I hope you don't mind our not going out tonight.
Oh, no. It's just fine. Thanks.
No toast?
Cheers. Problems?
Maybe. You tell me yours first.
What makes you think I have any?
You do. It's in your eyes.
Well, I'm sorry I'm not a million laughs.
If you can't share your worries with me, I can't ask your help with mine. What's troubling you?
Oh, the same thing that'll trouble me as long as I'm a doctor.
A patient?
Yes.
And no cure.
I just left a father who asked the same question. He's got a 12-year-old son. I don't think he'll live.
I'm sorry.
He's a nice kid. An only child. I don't think the parents can have any more children. I should be able to shrug it off. But that's my tale of woe for today. What's yours?
It's nothing that won't keep. Sufficient unto this day is your tale of woe. Or something like that. Can a woman exercise her feminine privileges and change her mind?
About what?
I don't know. Suddenly I feel like going out. Let's go somewhere where there are a million laughs. I don't want to sit around here and listen to my heartbeat or hear my thoughts hammering. Let's go out and get lost, Ben.
Well, that's a mighty big order, but I'm game for a try.
I'll get my coat.
Did I do that? I'm sorry.
I know. You always are. Why are you in hospital clothes? Are you sick?
I'm all right. Never mind me. Are you okay?
I'll be out to Dare tomorrow. Craig, everyone's looking for you. Your parents and a policeman asked me questions.
I know. I felt so bad after what I did to you. I got sick to my stomach. I'm sorry I flipped my top.
Craig, why did you marry me?
I loved you.
And you show it by hitting me? When you're on that glue stuff, you're a different person. Is that why you're in the hospital? Because it makes you sick?
Questions.
Well, I have a right to ask.
You're always bugging me.
Can I talk to you? I knew if you keep using that stuff.
There you go again. Not talking, telling me. You're always telling me off.
Greg, I just don't understand you. You say you're sorry, but you don't act like it. I just don't know what to think. You make me feel like a warden, not a wife. When I told you I was going to have the baby, you went wild. You don't want the baby?
I do. I mean, I don't want to hurt you. I just don't know what comes over me. I don't know.
Greg, if you're scared, so am I. Less of the baby coming than of you. You've hit me before, but this is the first time you've put me in the hospital, and it has to be the last.
Every time I say I'm sorry, you start telling me what to do. Give me another chance. I'll never raise my hand to you again. I promise.
Greg?
I'm okay. I'm not supposed to be here. No. I'll go back. Now, don't say anything to anyone, and don't tell the police.
No, I won't tell the police. They can't make a decision for me that I may have to make later for myself. You better go back before they miss you.
Just a minute. What were you doing in that room?
I took a walk. I got the wrong room.
You're Greg Carter, aren't you? That's why you came to the hospital in the first place. To see the wife you put here.
I feel sick.
Greg, tell me what happened. When you beat her. I'm not the police. It's important to your own case.
Look, I'm sick.
Nick.
Yes, doctor?
Nick, will you take Mr. Carter back to his room, put him to bed, and tell Dr. Hoffman to meet me in the library, please.
Right away, doctor. Come on, Mr. Carter.
Growing up in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, I remember looking into Pop's Pizza and
228-1300.
You know something? It was the odor that bothered me, under the stale alcohol. Kept reminding me of something. The solvent used to make glue dry faster.
Toluene. Granulocytosis. I spotted the ulcerations in the oral and nasal mucosa.
Well, Trenchmouth would do that. But through us was everything else wrong with him. Kid's so young and the symptoms so advanced.
Then he's poisoned.
That's right. The kid's a glue sniffer, and he's been at it a long time.
There's no law in this state that says a cat can't sniff glue.
Now look, Greg, there's an ingredient, toluene. It's a benzene derivative. You're literally taking gas.
Well, that's a gas man. Anyway, it's my problem.
No, it's mine. You're creating extra work for me. Unnecessary extra work. Our beds are full. We need the one you're taking up.
So I'll take my problem somewhere else.
Greg, whatever's bugging you stacks up pretty small compared to what we get in this hospital. Right down the hall, there's a 12-year-old boy. He probably doesn't have 6 months to live.
Sad, Dad.
You've got your whole life ahead of you. You're deliberately throwing it away. Why?
Kicksville. To get into orbit away from this crummy world you older cubes made for us.
Atomic jitters?
You've got the scene.
Any excuse will do. You're so sorry for yourself.
It's my life.
What you've got left of it. You keep this up, you'll probably be blind, crippled, or maybe even kill yourself.
Scare me, Doc. Go ahead.
You're probably one sniff away from the grave right now.
Don't feel a thing. So what you gonna do? Call the cops?
No. No, I'm not gonna call the cops. I don't know what your wife sees in you. You know, I can't hold you here against your will, but I'm going to notify your parents. And while you're drenched in self-pity waiting, you just give some thought to that boy down the hall. He's probably dying. Yet he's not 1/4 as sorry for himself as you are.
Oh, Greg, my baby.
Hardly a baby, Ellen. How are you feeling?
This pen strips my gears.
Well, considering why you're here and what you've done to Mary...
No, Andrew, none of that.
Look, I'm concerned about him. He's no less my son than yours. But God in heaven, Ellen, what have we turned out?
You've come to chew me out.
Oh, no, your father's sorry.
About him? Yes.
Andrew.
Oh, very well, very well. But I just don't understand you, son.
Well, I'm sure that Greg can explain.
Yes, and I'm sure you'll believe every word.
Andrew, I do think that that's enough.
But all I'm trying to... Do you mind if I be just a little upset?
Well, do you mind not upsetting Greg?
Mom, you're the cream. You raise the berries.
And another thing, your language is little...
I hear that Mary's going to have a baby.
Hmm.
Well, we'll do everything that we can to help you.
Yeah.
For heaven's sake.
Andrew!
Don't you realize that he's hit a pregnant woman and he's taking some kind of dope?
That's right, that's right. Give it to me good.
Andrew!
Well, didn't you? Aren't you? You think I want to believe what they're saying about you, but you're here. I just don't understand you today. What do they lack?
Now tell me how rough you had it as a kid. Sold papers at 10 and walked 6 miles to school.
Yes, and felt the palm of my father's hand. Something I should have done to you.
Andrew, I insisted to stop persecuting him.
Persecuting him? I am not going to feel guilty about him.
Well, let's discuss it later.
We'll discuss it here. I insist upon respect.
What respect? All of a sudden you want respect? She doesn't give it to you, and you want me to?
Now, Greg, really?
It's the truth. It wasn't our house, it's hers. Don't smoke in the living room. Where are you going tonight? Are all women like that? Take over?
Well, I'm not like that.
What my father is shows what my mother is. I'm not your little boy. He is.
See, Ellen? See? I knew he didn't like me. But he doesn't like you either.
Look, I don't want to tell anybody off. I just want to be left alone. From you, from Mary. And that goes for you too, Doctor.
You're due for medication, Greg.
I know the way.
It's not like that, really.
Yes, it is like that, Doctor. A pattern. Let's go home, Ellen.
Hello, Doctor.
Mary, Mr. Dubowski.
How's my husband?
How is? No good. That's how he is.
If he makes the most of the chance you're willing to give him, he'll be all right.
He promised he would.
Promises. Someday the sky is going to fall on him. You believe him
I want to believe him.
and fall on you and baby too. Doctor, we got laws for kids not to buy alcohol.
How come this glue? They can walk in and buy it for a few cents.
I don't know, Mr. Dubosky. It's not manufactured for the purpose that Greg puts it to. Overeating can kill a man. I wouldn't pass a law against food. Mary, I came to tell you that you can go home. I'll sign you out.
And Greg?
His parents agree he should stay on. It's up to you. I urge it.
Then it's that bad.
Yes.
When can I see him?
He's under medication right now. Later.
You know what I say? I say, Dr. Casey, I was born in Poland. I was in concentration camp. So much for young people in this country. I don't understand. I come back after work.
Poor Papa. Ever since Mama died, he's so afraid of living alone. He didn't like my marrying Greg.
And your in-laws
Feel the same way about
you.
I suppose in 20 years, I'll feel the same way about it.
Dr. Casey, Dr. Freeland would like to see you. He's in OR 5.
Well, there's no surgery scheduled.
Some new equipment is being installed. Dr. Freeland is supervising.
That's it, Doctor. All yours.
Well, that's quite an interesting gadget.
Well, it may not play rock and roll, but I'm kind of proud of it.
You must have put up quite a fight to get the appropriation.
Well, we've got it.
Doctor, it's come to my attention that you've scheduled surgery on Michael Tevlin. Is that correct?
Yes.
I've studied the findings. The condition described is, I assume, correct.
Yes.
The prognosis in such cases is that the patient is terminal. Well, is that correct? Look around you, Doctor. Tell me what you see. Well, look around.
It's obviously an operating room, Doctor.
Very good. Would you please tell me the function of this operating room?
To perform surgery.
To what end?
The correction of sickness and the preservation of life.
Excellent. This is an operating room. It's not a church where we pray for divine intervention. It's an operating room, not a bookie parlor where we lay down bets on outside chances. Do you understand?
I understand that by ordering surgery, I made a surgeon's decision. An operation is the last chance to save that boy.
There is no chance. An objective doctor would realize and accept that.
I accept nothing in medicine but fact. And that boy's death is not a fact.
All right, doctor, let's discuss the facts. Why do you want to operate?
To help a patient. You think I'm doing it just to exercise my wrist?
No, to ease your conscience. You're afraid you made a mistake the first time you operated on that boy. The thought has nagged you to the point where you can't think clearly. You'd like to prove that the present problem is something new, something different. And your conscience can take a holiday.
I'm only interested in helping a patient.
Because by helping him, you'll be helping yourself. Don't you understand? You don't have to operate to prove it. The first operation you performed was a surgical success. As a doctor, you can do no more.
What about as a human being? Does being a surgeon prohibit my having emotions?
No. But does having emotions qualify you as a surgeon? Go ahead, glower at me. Take a swing if it'll make you feel any better. I'd rather that than see you punish yourself. Ben, this is something we all regret, but can do nothing about. I'm refusing permission for surgery.
Well, then what are his chances?
But I'm interested in your chances. There's no future for a neurosurgeon whose emotional involvement with his patients distorts his judgment.
All right, Doctor. I've had my wrist slapped. I won't schedule surgery for Mike. Is there anything else, sir?
We're changing the reading habits of the USA. USA Today.
I read it every day for news around the USA.
I read it every day for business that really pays.
I read it every day for weather that's on the way.
I read it every day
For sports that people play.
Every day for movies, books, and plays, at home or away. I read it every day. USA Today.
USA Today. You can eat.
I read it every day. USA Today. Every day.
Oh, it's a little late for you to be here, isn't it? Is anything wrong?
Not unless there's something wrong in my wanting to see you.
Well, it's nice to know somebody does.
Another one of those days.
Yes, let's go outside.
I had to be at the hospital anyway. Turn over my files and such to my successor. My last official act in the social welfare department. I'm now free as a bird.
Sounds good.
You don't.
I'm sorry.
Same old thing, no doubt.
Same patient, that 12-year-old.
His parents must be in agony. They'd be better off if they never had a child.
That's ridiculous, Laura.
Look at the pain they would have been spared.
Look, you don't stop living because one day you'll die. You don't stop having children because you get hurt.
No, I suppose you don't. I have something to tell you, Ben. It's hard to find the right words.
Start with the wrong ones. We'll switch them around.
That's as good a way as any. I'm going away.
Where?
Out of your life.
Those are the wrong words. Why don't you start over again?
I wish we could.
Laura, what's with you? What gives?
Well, I had a long, hard look at me, followed by a long, hard look at you. Something is missing.
What, for instance?
Dedication. Unselfishness on my part.
I'm not good at riddles.
I won't say I'm not in love. I couldn't and make it sound convincing. Maybe my life has been too easy. I've always had everything I wanted. A husband. I want that too, but not one I have to share with a profession. I want a full-time husband.
Someone who barks when you snap your fingers?
Not a lapdog. A man who acts on impulse. Who'd decide with me in the middle of the night to fly to Europe just because it sounds like fun.
With you picking up the tab.
Is that important?
It is to me, Laura.
Well, I won't suggest marriage on my terms. Not to you. I know you too well and love you too much.
You certainly have a strange way of showing it.
Stranger than you think.
You know, if I had a hat, I'd tip it. That'd be the polite way of saying goodbye.
Please don't hate me, Ben. Please.
I don't hate you, Laura.
I just can't hurt you. That's why it has to be this way.
More riddles.
No. Just goodbye. I'm a girl who didn't have what it takes to make you happy.
buddy. Where's the men's ward?
Keep going. 10 to the right, buddy.
Hey, come on, Greg. Give me a chance to refuel.
Knock it off.
Hey, cool it, man. Stash the bag.
Get out, Greg.
I'm staying right here.
Hey, give me my keys.
Not until he gets out. You promised your wife you wouldn't do this again.
What's it to you? I'll get you if you keep bugging me.
You're not going to drive in that condition.
Give me my keys.
I'm taking you back to the hospital.
Hey, Greg.
Just stand still, mister. You're gonna get what's coming to you.
And what about your baby? Mary was right. He'll need a father here, but not in jail. I'm over here, Greg. I'm over here.
Shut up. I know what you're doing. You're stalling for time.
That's right, Greg. That's just what I'm doing.
It's not gonna work.
It already has. You're becoming cyanotic, aren't you? Having trouble breathing. Coordinating your movements. You better get back to bed before it's too late.
Before it's too late, you bet it's too late for you.
They're not so tough. You wouldn't need all that glue to hold you together.
I'll get you.
You can't lift your arm, can you? You can't even see me clearly. You can't even walk over to me.
Mary. Help me. Help me. Mary. Mary, please help me.
It's Crazy Eddie's greatest TV and video sale ever. Get a color TV, a video cassette recorder, a large screen TV, video disc player, TV camera, a new audio video component system.
He'll make it. Just barely. But we can pull him through.
Thank you, Dr. Casey.
When can I see Greg?
No, I'll see him first.
Oh, Mary, dear.
That's the way it has to be from now on, me first. You want what's best for us, but you've just got to let us stand on our own 2 feet.
I say you should...
No, Papa, you have nothing to say. I know you all love us, but well, you can show that by just leaving us alone. Be there, but leave us alone.
Well, Mary, really?
She's right, of course.
Andrew, I didn't ask you.
I'm telling you. You're right, Mary. Of course we'll be there. Let's go home, Ellen. There's nothing more we can do here.
You too, Papa. Go.
Yeah. Sure.
Come on, Stephen. Let me buy your beer.
Oh, Dr. Casey. It was that close, huh?
That close. Right now, he's heavily sedated. If you want, you can wait in his room.
don't deserve you.
You don't deserve what you're doing to yourself, Greg.
My father. All my life, I looked at him and cried. Cried for what he wasn't. I couldn't let it happen to me.
And you thought I was doing what your mother... Oh, Greg.
Please believe me. One last time. Never touch that stuff or you again.
I believe you. So peaceful, no relatives around. Declaration of Independence.
There's still a war to be fought.
I know. And I'll give it one more battle for the baby.
Almost dying won't necessarily change Greg. You know, he could go from wife beater to child beater.
I guess I'll find that out in 7 months. But if we're left alone, I just have to believe that something I saw in him when we married, he's gonna come through.
And if it doesn't?
Then I was old enough to make a mistake and young enough, I hope, to overcome it. Our marriage needs that chance. You believe that, don't you?
Mary, it's not important what I believe, but I'll buy your faith. Good luck.
Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. Keeping busy, Doctor?
Oh, I find an occasional splinter that needs removing.
A splinter, eh? That's very funny.
The standard hospital joke is not really that amusing.
What you need, Doc, is to get out a little more. Smile. Take off your shoes and walk in the rain.
You must have had your happy pills for the day, Mr. Hanley. Just why are you so pleased?
Because ever since I was a little boy, I never believed in Christmas. And today I wake up and find there is a Santa Claus. I was going to teach your boy Casey a lesson.
Not while I'm chief of neurosurgery. And no threats from you are going to change my position.
Doctor, you have no position. Haven't you heard? You're out. You're yesterday's newspaper. The game's over and everyone's gone home. You're finished.
Bing Crosby Productions and the American Broadcasting Company wish to thank the American Medical Association for its assistance in the production of Ben Casey.
Contents: bridges,